controversy surrounding Jaylen Brown and the decision by Team USA to bring on board Derek White as the alternate to Kawhi Leonard. I'm just going to touch super briefly on the context in case maybe there are things that just kind of slip through the cracks for you. And then I really want to talk about and get into the analysis portion of this because I care a lot about it. And in my professional experience, this is something that I've done work for. The context is Kawhi Leonard missed the end of his playoff season due to a knee injury and shows up to training camp and ultimately decides in partnership with Team USA to back out of competing at the Olympics. The news broke a couple days ago that Derek White was going to step in to replace him, and in the wake of that decision, Jaylen Brown starts tweeting out confusion emojis with the monocle and then proceeds to follow it up with directly adding Nike, saying, "We doing this now." And it is a reference to Brown's track record of calling out Nike for its fake activism in basically championing popular social issues and speaking one way about things, but then in practice, as far as their business operations go, not really holding up and utilizing congruent ideologies in that sense. It's really great when you talk about things, but then it's another thing when you actually take action and employing the ideals that you are championing in ways that might actually cost you a little bit more money. And that is clearly something that Nike has notoriously been under scrutiny for, even outside of the NBA. This is a widely known thing for child labor laws and other employment law violations. It's really not anything new. For example, in 2022, Brown famously tweeted, "When did Nike care about ethics?" Plays games in Nike sneakers, but actually rips the swoosh off of the sneakers, which I didn't even know about. That's actually kind of cool. The last bit of context that I did not hear any mention of at all was that Woj was courtside for, I believe, a playoff game at some point, was on TV saying explicitly that Derek White loomed as a likely alternate for Team USA in the event that Kawhi Leonard's health couldn't hold up. And he pointed at Kawhi's health concerns explicitly. Now you have a bunch of fallout. A lot of people, I think, are very quick to jump and support Jaylen Brown and his finger pointing at the big corporations, rah, rah, everybody loves to do that. This is where my approach to the analysis of the entire situation, I think, differentiates from a lot of what you see online. It's really important to debunk this decoy narrative that a lot of established media is pointing to, which is the, "Oh my God, Derek White should be so offended because Jaylen Brown is basically saying he's so much better than him." First of all, Derek White has never been All-NBA. Second of all, he's never getting a $300 million contract in the NBA. Third of all, he has had a front row seat for Jaylen Brown's outspoken activism and spotlighting Nike's hypocrisy, the ideologies and ideals that it espouts for public praise. He knows Jaylen Brown really, really well. And then fourth of all, he has watched Jaylen Brown climb the ranks of the NBA and ascend rightfully to his current place as one of the best two-way wings in the NBA and worthy of his contract and worthy of Finals MVP and Eastern Conference Finals MVP. I highly doubt that Derek White would look you in the eye and say, "Oh no, I am definitely a better candidate and a better alternate for this Team USA than Jaylen Brown." There's no fucking chance that Derek White would actually feel that way at all. And I think it's being utilized intentionally to distract us away from looking at the real issue here, which is how horrendously Team USA and Grant Hill individually handled and prepared for this potential reputational risk when they selected Derek White 2 days ago. If you haven't seen the clip from Team USA's post-game interview last night when Grant Hill was asked about Jaylen Brown's comments, absolutely fucking embarrassing. Zero explicit acknowledgement of the fact that Jaylen Brown far more closely mimics Kawhi Leonard's physical profile and skill set than Derek White. No recent discovery that they made during training camp, something like, "Oh, it turns out we're actually really okay on wings We just need a lot more speedy guards who can handle the ball and shoot and make really quick decisions. No mention of Derek White's style of play, aligning better with international play, with the different rules, size of the court, a new matchup that has unraveled itself where Derek White would be a better fit for that. There was literally fucking nothing. And mind you, I'm not even saying merit. I'm just saying legitimate fit into anything related to this specific iteration of Team USA. There was also no explicit refusal or dismissal of the idea that Team USA's sponsors had anything to do with any decisions like these. Think about it. Why would you take an accusation to the face if you are Grant Hill as far as Nike's actually doing your job? You should be like, fuck no, they aren't. I'm doing it. It was all me, and they never play a part in that. The only thing he did say as far as the sponsors go was that he was very proud to represent the sponsors for the team. Textbook incompetence in two very critical ways. One, Grant Hill was unable to realize everything I just said or any of what I just said on the spot. So being a mouthpiece for the team in reputational issue situations does not seem to be something this guy is equipped for if you can't realize the very blatantly obvious points of confusion around why you wouldn't have Jaylen Brown backfilling for Kawhi Leonard. Not to mention the fact that Brown has been outspokenly antagonistic towards your biggest sponsor in Nike. Very fucking obvious for any person to put together some conspiracy around this sponsorship as Team USA's mouthpiece. That's your fucking job, to kill these kinds of ideas in the womb. Leads me to my second point, demonstrates incompetence because this entire situation was clearly not forecasted or projected ahead of time. First of all, Grant Hill didn't even point out the fact that they had already told Woj, hey, Derek White is probably the alternate a month ago. Should have been the first fucking thing out of your mouth, buddy. Second of all, the physical profile similarities are beyond obvious. It just makes no sense that you would exchange Kawhi for D. White like they're apples to apples to begin with. And then third of all, Jaylen Brown and, funny enough, Kyrie Irving, the only two high-profile NBA players who have been outspokenly antagonistic towards Nike as a Team USA sponsor, weren't fucking invited. And then on top of all of that, when Jaylen Brown received his Eastern Conference Finals award, completely shell-shocked, said publicly that he doesn't win shit. Overtly clear, he has felt neglected and underappreciated in this league his entire career. What do you have to be, fucking Sherlock Holmes, to put these dots together ahead of time, like 2 days ago, when you formally selected Derek White? Jaylen Brown, Finals MVP, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, huge contract, huge household name now. Man, he might be kind of pissed. Oh shit, Nike's our biggest sponsor and he fucking hates them? Oh, that could look real bad. What am I, fucking Sherlock Holmes? Who the fuck are you people? This isn't rocket science. So you have a guy that has felt neglected his entire career, that has been outspoken about his beliefs on corporate business practices, that ends up being directly related to Team USA's functional sponsorship, who also had a historic postseason, solidifying and cementing himself in the hierarchy of the league as a household name, accomplishing literally the biggest and most significant postseason awards possible. Champion, Finals MVP, Conference Finals MVP. What the fuck else does this guy have to do? And you still clearly didn't fucking care enough to think enough about that potential reputational risk when another premier two-way wing drops out of the roster. What the fuck are we doing? It's not rocket science. You don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to realize, oh shit, you know what? Jaylen Brown might fuck shit up if we do this. You know what we should do is we should get the fucking intern to find that clip of Woj courtside so that we have it ready to go. Somebody else give me some talking points in case this shit actually explodes in our face. Just objective incompetence. Put the formal decision of Derek White being the alternate for Team USA in a box and put the box over here. What I'm specifically talking about is Team USA and Grant Hill's failure to proactively forecast for likely reputational risks coming off of that formal decision based on what the fuck just happened a month ago, and their ability to manage the situation when said reputational risks come to fruition. You couldn't come up with anything on the spot that refutes the very obvious connections being made between the fucking dots of what the hell's going on here. I'm not even saying Nike did anything at all. I'm just saying you're fucking stupid. This is just a dog shit job by Grant Hill specifically, Steve Kerr, the rest of Team USA's management circle, the NBA, and Nike. Someone should have fucking thought about this because this is the wrong dude to fuck with. And now, with most things having to do with corporate reputations, it stops even being about what actually happened. It's about how you managed and responded to what ended up happening. Congratulations.